All right, game two finished up. Oklahoma City versus Indiana. Oklahoma City looked much better tonight. No crazy comeback from the first game. Halliburton not very aggressive until the fourth quarter. Just they kind of looked almost. The Pacers kind of looked like they were defeated from the beginning, and they looked like they're ready to go back and play home game 3 and 4. But as for game one, just revisiting that real quick. 479 God, what do you think was the main factor that caused the Pacers to come back against the Thunder in the fourth quarter?
I think it was just shot making,
Shot
3-point shooting.
Yeah, they hit a lot of threes in the fourth quarter. Like, I think they were like 5 for 9 at one point or something. Like, it was absolutely insane. Like, Miles Turner was hitting bank shots. It was insane.
Obi Toppin had a really good game.
Yeah, Obi Toppin. Yeah. And Neesmith, he had one in the corner with like 2 minutes left or something. And if he didn't hit that one, then it would, I said that in the video previous, but if he didn't hit that one, that could have costed them the game. But that was crazy. Alex Caruso was like right in his grill. And it was crazy.
The Nemhard step back.
Oh, yeah, I guess SGA. Yeah, that was.
Right.
I mean, SGA is not the best on-ball defender, but Nemhard absolutely cooked him there. That was wild. Yeah. We on to game two. It's kind of started off similar. Oklahoma City kind of kept a good lead in the first quarter. Pacers would answer them back, and then kind of going to the second, it's when Oklahoma City starting to pull away. Got some notes. They did start with the same starting lineup in the second game with Case and Wallace slotted in there, but they did bring Ihart pretty close into the game, like for Chet, and they kind of made sure they had one of them out there for most of the time, and they almost abandoned that small ball lineup that arguably cost them the game there down the stretch in the fourth quarter when they got out rebounded and stuff. Like, there's a big offensive rebound SGA gave up to Siakam with around 50 seconds left, and there's some good adjustments from Nark Daigneault there. Also, Aaron Wiggins and Eric Wiggins and Alex Caruso, some huge minutes off the bench for Oklahoma City. I mean, Aaron Wiggins with 5 3-pointers. Caruso had like 4, I think.
Caruso finished with 20. Wiggins finished with 18.
Yeah, that's 38 points combined for them. And that is Alex Caruso. That's tied for his most points ever in a playoff game. That's what a luxury for the Thunder to have Alex Caruso coming off the bench, veteran leader for them. And clearly last year they could have used him when they lost to Dallas. Do you have any other thoughts about how Alex Caruso or Aaron Wiggins, Case and Wallace, those guys off the bench for Oklahoma City who don't get as much minutes, but they could probably start on most other NBA teams? Like, what is their impact?
Their impact is crucial, man. I mean, for game one, they came in kind of like uneasy, or at least Wiggins and Joe did.
Yeah.
But once going into game two, they looked much more comfortable shooting the ball, and it showed for sure.
Yeah, I definitely agree with that. I would definitely agree. Chet,
Kenrich Williams.
Oh yeah, Kenny Hustle. Yeah.
His 7 minutes is really not much on the box score, but watching the game, those 7 minutes were huge.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah, definitely. I mean, the stuff doesn't show up on the box score. He's a really good hustler. You know, yeah. He just does those plays. He makes those good plays. I think he made a good save. He saved the ball one time, I think. People like to look at the box score and stuff, but I mean, yeah, like if you look at the box score, Kenrich Williams at 8 minutes, 0 points, but he did have 4 rebounds and 2 assists.
That box plus minus.
That plus minus
is the third highest.
Plus 15.
Plus 15.
Aaron Wiggins plus 24. That's crazy. And then speaking of plus minus, Cason Wallace has the highest plus minus by a bench player in the playoff run since Manu in 2014. So Cason Wallace is definitely underrated, and he's only 21 years old. So he could be a huge piece for the Thunder moving forward if they want to build a dynasty.
Really good impact.
Right, yeah. And then kind of speaking on Indiana, they didn't quite get as good of looks, I think. Like it seems like they were kind of forcing threes up instead of like swinging the ball around. Like a lot of possessions, they just made one pass and just shot a 3 and not in rhythm and stuff, and they just kind of just didn't really get those looks like he did in the first one. It kind of showed they were missing him some more. And if they want to win games 3 and 4, especially, they needed to kind of let the offense flow through Halliburton and just kind of make sure that they don't force the issue, especially Obi Toppin. Seemed like every time he touched it, he just threw it up.
I think with Halliburton too, we understand like his play style. He's pass first, but if you're in the NBA Finals, you want to at least get 20 shots a night from Halliburton. I don't think 13 is enough.
Yeah, the fourth quarter. He waited till the fourth quarter. It seemed like to do anything. Mm-hmm. It's like he was counting on their fourth quarter comeback. Like, I mean, that's what they do, the Pacers. But they were too far behind. They tried to start it. Like they made a run at the start of the fourth quarter. They were trying to. It was kind of towards the end of the third quarter, I think, actually. And then Oklahoma City just kind of put their foot down, and Halliburton was getting buckets, but they just couldn't stop him on the other end. And at that point, it's too late. And then Carlisle pulled out the starters, like 4 minutes left. I thought that was pretty interesting.
Yeah, same thing with Pascal. Just needs to be more aggressive. His shooting night wasn't really that good, but he just needs to come out more aggressiveness next game.
Right, yeah. I noticed Pascal was driving to the rim, especially in the first half, and he was trying to, and that was working somewhat successfully. The Thunder were having problems; they were fouling him, especially in the third quarter. They were fouling Pascal a lot. He's getting to the free throw line, and so that could be something for the Pacers moving forward, because he's a tough guy to guard. So if he drives in there, he could be making a living at the free throw line, because Thunder can't really stop him.
Yeah, going back to game 1, he took a lot of those mismatches when he was matched up on Case and Wallace or any of the smaller OKC guards. He could definitely take advantage, at least on those guys. Maybe not much on the J-Dubs, but
yeah, definitely.
He got his, yeah.
I would say Dort even too.
Yeah, even Dort, yeah.
Yeah, Dort's strong enough to guard him, but he can just shoot it over him. So
right, he has the length.
Yeah, he's definitely a mismatch for the Thunder, because Chet can't really guard Siakam. He's just not. He just ain't like that.
Chet does not have the foot speed to guard Siakam.
Right.
The other guys are too short to guard Siakam.
So yeah, they just put J-Dub on him and hope he can do his best. But and they're fine with Caruso guarding him too. Something I noticed: the Pacers, they turned it over less in the second game. They did a better job of taking care of the basketball. Because in that first game, they turned it over so many times, but the Thunder didn't capitalize on those turnovers. You had 15 turnovers for the Pacers in the second game. Oklahoma City had 13. They turned it over quite a bit. That's for Oklahoma City standards, anyway. But you can't see how much they scored off turnovers. But if I had to say, the Thunder definitely capitalized more on those turnovers this game versus the first one. And honestly, they shot better. Like Chet, he had 6 points in the first game, and this one he had 15. And 6 for 11 shooting, much more efficient. He was like 2 for 9 last game or something. But yeah, the big three stepped up. They scored 68 this time, and that was enough to put down Indiana.
One thing I noticed from Chet was that he was really aggressive, especially that first half, specifically that first quarter. He was just going at everyone.
Yeah, dude, that first quarter he had 9 points, and he did make a 3, but his toes were on the line. He's got something he's got to work on next year, like this offseason. Because he's probably costed like 5 or 6 points just from having his toes on the line.
Right.
Which, I mean, that's a minor nitpick, but you never know. I mean, that could cost him the game. That was a 1-point win in the first game. So just you can point at
costed Kevin Durant the game.
Yeah, that's right. Some of them long feet. One more thing here. You think Jay Will could get any more minutes in this finals?
Just looking at like the Pacers front court, they typically run Turner, Thomas Bryant. They used to run Tony Bradley, but he looks like he's not really playing this series. I don't expect him to. I don't know if I really see much of a role for Jay Will, unless the Pacers decide to go with a more brute force lineup. I see Jay Will as a more in the paint defender. I don't really see him as a switch defender that much. I don't know if you would agree.
Yeah, I can see that. Obviously, Jay Will was a key piece in the Nuggets series. They probably wouldn't have won without Jay Will.
Right.
And he got a lot less
against the Wolves.
He got a lot less minutes against the Wolves, yeah. And then pretty much none so far against the Pacers. So something to watch out for there potentially. I think Aaron Wiggins.
He's just a plug and play guy.
Yeah, I would agree. Yeah, and then I think Aaron Wiggins probably earned himself a little bit more playing time for sure because he was.
Definitely.
And then who else? Yeah, but that's probably the guys they're gonna roll with. You definitely for the Pacers, you definitely want to see more out of Halliburton, just being more aggressive.
Definitely.
So for the rest of the series, we got two games in Indiana, 3 and 4. Who do you think? Do you think Indiana will come out on top in both of those? One, Oklahoma City will win both. What do you think?
I do see Indiana taking game 3 just because many people didn't really expect them to even take one these first 2 games, and they took game 1. So their fans are going to be behind them, supporting them, knowing that they're still in a good spot to hopefully get a 2-1 lead.
Yeah, I agree with you there. Oklahoma City has struggled in game 3s in the playoffs, just going on the road, especially against the Wolves in game 3. That was pretty bad. It was like a 40 point loss or something. I'm not saying it's going to be that bad, but I'd say the Pacers would probably win by maybe 10, 12 points, something like that probably.
Right.
Game 4, that's where the series could be decided.
That is true, because either way you look at it, one team, it got to be tied, or one team can have a 3-1 lead. So that's a big.
If Pacers win that game 4, then it's almost wrapped, because then they just win game 6, and they're heading to the NBA Finals, and they're getting that ring. So Oklahoma City most likely gonna have to pick up 3 or 4 if they want to stay alive in the series.
Right.
So it's exciting to watch. Games 3 and 4. Game 3 is on a Wednesday at 7:30, and then Game 4 is on Friday. Only 1 day break in between those, and then we don't know from there because actually Game 5 is scheduled now. But Game 6 and 7 potentially still happen. So thank you 479 God for coming on here and giving your insight. Appreciate it.
No problem.
Yeah. If you guys enjoyed, make sure you leave a like and subscribe. Week of Sports coming out probably pretty soon. I'm not sure when yet, but make sure you guys, once again, leave a like and subscribe. Comment down below if you want to be on the show. Just let me know. I'll try to get you worked on here, and see you guys in the next one.